Good evening. We have another week, another set of hot takes. Remember, you leave hot takes in the comments, but please, for the love of God, stop essaying like 20 sentences. Just keep the hot take quick, and it's not supposed to be a game suggestion, just an opinion you have about the game, but make it quick so we can actually put it in the damn video, because I'm not reading a whole essay. First hot take is, you shouldn't be able to use voice chat if your career profile is blocked. Okay, first of all, use the wrong UR. Why was it U apostrophe RE, first of all? Second of all, what do you mean blocked? You mean private? I don't agree with this. This is a pretty spicy take. So you're not allowed to use voice chat if you have a private profile? What is this, gatekeeping Gary? This is kind of silly. This is a piping hot take. Now, I understand why people have profiles blocked, and I also understand why people use voice and don't use voice. The best middle ground for those who want to keep their profile private, I think, is actually showing a suggested hero list. Like, you can customize, be like, I have my profile blocked, but I play, you know, Anna, KIRO, Mercy, in that preferred order, and then leave it at that. Other than to rank shame, like that's what I think the reason why they got rid of it, to see people's hours and shame, so they don't want that. My personal usage for it is not to look at people's ranks, but to actually see what they play, so I can play around that. So if you can just put a preferred hero list, something like that, that's neutral, so you can't like spy win rates or anything, that's like perfect, and that's what I think the game needs. Next hot take is, playing Genji is actually fucking agony. You have to be so much better than your enemies to get good value out of them. Please give them 29 damage shuriken back. Medium take. I don't think Genji is sort of like in the middle of the pack. I don't actually think he's that bad. And the thing is, if people can't get resets on Genji, he's always been very feast or famine. If you have 29 damage shuriken back, you can absolutely just dominate games with just consistent resets, which is also not healthy for the game, right? So I think he's actually in an okay spot. I've always thought his blade right now does 110 per slash, which is a weird nerf. I didn't think that was necessary. They could have kept it at 120, so his blade doesn't feel like paper, and I think his shuriken outside of his in his poke phase is fine. It'll slowly help him build his ultimate. It doesn't feel as oppressive if he's outside of his ult and he just like jumps you and triple shurikens with 29 each and just one-shots you randomly as well. He can be frustrating to play when they have a gazillion things that counter you, but there's a lot of heroes in the game that suffer the same consequence, where if there's a lot of things that are strong against you, it can be frustrating to play, cough, Ryan, but it doesn't mean the hero's inherently bad. It just means the other things are probably just too good against it, and you should probably go back to spawn and press H and swap. Thank you. Hot take, getting to GM on console is harder than on PC, at least on DPS, if not all the roles. I'm a mid GM support, and console is littered with mouse and keyboard players on everything above mid diamond. Players using the improved movement accuracy of mouse and keyboard combined with the aim assist on console means you have fewer and shorter windows of opportunity to interact against a skilled player in GM games. Okay, this is one of those takes where I don't really have any skin in the game, where I've never played console. The way you're listing it out, actually, it's sort of, I can sort of see where you're coming from, because I heard zimming, is that what you call it, right? XIM, where people are playing mouse and keyboard on a console plus aim assist can be incredibly frustrating, especially if you're an exclusive controller player. So some hit scans really will be like way more dominant than they should be when combined with the thing. This might be true, but again, I don't really have too much. I have to ask the console people, whether in the chat here or the people in the comments here. Is it true most Diamond Master GM player do use him? Yes, Johnny? That is something, I don't know what Blizzard could do, or like maybe it's something that PlayStation or Xbox or Switch has to do exclusively to remove that sort of input, but I feel like modders and hackers will sort of be able to bypass certain restrictions, and then having that technology with aim assist is very frustrating. The middle ground is to remove aim assist on console, but then that won't make it for a fun experience, and we know these games are designed for a casual element. People want to have fun, and if there's no aim assist, especially for very casual players, it can be too tough and people will leave the game. In a perfect world, you're supposed to play on even ground. That would mean play on a controller, use your thumbs rather than a mouse and keyboard. If you're gonna use mouse and keyboard, why not play on PC? I mean, the game sense is sort of the same, but if you're kind of relying on aim assist the whole time, those players who are aim assist plus mouse and keyboard may inherently not be as skilled mechanically at the game compared to just raw mouse and keyboard aimers without the aim assist. Is this a hot take? Is this really a hot take? Junker Queen is the best made hero in Overwatch history. Not too complained about to play or versus. Very fun playstyle, rewarding for hitting your shots and abilities. We need another Junker Queen meta ASAP. Not a hot take. I freaking love Queen. I actually think she's one of my new favorite tanks to play. She's designed really cool, really well. It's very satisfying to hit the knife. She doesn't feel awful if you don't hit the knife, as long as you're just life stealing and stuff. Anti-nade exists, obviously, which can be frustrating because that's her whole shtick. But after they've nerfed and tweaked some of her numbers a lot, so her, what's it called? Her shout isn't as OP for the team, but stronger for her. I don't know. I think she's very cool and very fun. You can pop off a lot of damage. You can take a lot of space. I don't know about the best design hero. That's very subjective. Honestly, since the Overwatch 2 era, I would agree. But all time, Ana. Now people say Ana is maybe not balanced in 5v5, but until Overwatch 2, the 6v6 environment, Ana is just so cool. She's the best hero. I'm also a little biased because I'm an Ana main. The reason I think KIRO isn't that good in lower elo is mainly because it's just so much easier to heal bot with her than do anything else. And heal botting with her is throwing. Compare that to someone like Ana who both heals and damages in the exact same way. I don't know if this is a pretty hot take because it's not because they're heal botting, but it's because they're not taking advantage of the other part of her kit, which is flank angles, pressure shots there, healing enemies off strong high ground angles because KIRO can contest. Pretty good to contest Widowmakers. You can 2-tap her if she's not paying attention. They're only heal botting as a byproduct of not playing the other play style. Well, I guess you kind of made this. It is easier to heal bot with her than do anything else. I kind of take that back. I reread what you said here. That's sort of true, but like, I wouldn't say it's throwing. Heal botting does, if you're not gonna hit your kunais anyways, then heal botting is actually the better way to play her because you're actually building your ultimate and your ultimate is such a good ultimate. Now the problem is you have to make sure you use it. If people are holding on to their ultimates till Overwatch 3, then we have a problem here because people try to like overthink like Overwatch or ultimate economy and stuff. The minute you get Kitsune, just use it and just win the team fight. You know what I mean? Heal botting KIRO was actually used in the early Overwatch 2 era from professional teams. I think Fielder from the Dallas Field just heal botted because Kitsune Rush was that good. It was better back then because it used to like triple the cooldown rate versus double now, and I think it had more attack speed back then. I think it's a little slower now. I can't recall all the nerfs it's had, but it's still a very good ultimate, so heal botting itself isn't necessarily a bad idea. Now you say when you compare that to Ana, who both heals and damages in the exact same way, I mean, as Ana, you still have to make the choice to damage or heal. As KIRO, you have to make the choice to damage or heal as well. The way you say that at the end where it's like, compare that to someone like Ana who both heals and damages in the exact same way. Ana can also heal bot exclusively and just play for nano, which is also a strategy you can employ on maps with like Winston. On like Nabani, for example, you literally just sit there and let them take damage and just build and just heal bot for a nano boost and go off of that for tempo. You can actually use that same idea. You just sit there and heal bot for the first 2 minutes, farm your Kitsune, and then go with that. Blizzard needs to add more high skill expression characters that actually feel fun to play and are rewarding too. Characters like Moira, Brig, Torb, and Lifeweaver, where skill expression requirement is minimum, might make the game more accessible, but they don't make the game fun for anyone. These words where they say everyone and anyone is a little too much on one end for me. So I don't think this take is wrong. Blizzard adding high skill expression heroes should be something they should strive for, but a nice balance between high skill expression but also simplicity. You mentioned Lifeweaver here, but I actually think there is actually a lot of high skill expression Lifeweaver can employ. It's just the main bulk of his value is of course just pocket healing, which isn't very skillful. You just charge, let go, charge, let go. But there is ways to show off your skill there. I would say out of the ones you listed, Moira, Brig, Torb, Lifeweaver, I think Moira might be the most simple one out of all of them. Brig has a bit more nuance than you think. Torb is a little simple if you just play turret version, but that's like a low elo version of Torb. Like the right Torbs actually like run into you and pop their hammer on your face. And you're right where it says skill expression is minimum, might make the game more accessible. That's true. That's why you need to have a healthy balance of high skill expression heroes as well as simpler heroes to play for the simplicity of it. The end part where you say they don't make the game fun for anyone, I disagree. So there's plenty of people who find those heroes you listed fun. They maybe just don't make the game fun for you to play against, but that's just a personal opinion, not for everyone. Balance is tricky, or design is tricky, where you want a nice middle ground between the both. And having simple and hard heroes are good for a game. Accessibility, but the problem we run into is where the simple heroes are too rewarding for the amount of skill inputted. So like that's where we draw the line. But you should design a hero that has high skill expression and can express that and pop off and do very well with more skill you input. But at the same vein, you can't have really simple heroes do too much for how easy they're playing. But that's a different topic than what you were going for here. Hero bans won't be good for the game, as Spilo pointed out in a tweet after doing hero ban pugs. People won't ban the meta heroes, they'll just ban the heroes that they think are unfun to play against, like Hog, Bastion, and Mercy. They tried it as weekly bans in the past and nobody liked it, so they removed it. I'm in the middle of this. It's like a medium take. Philo doing it is a good experiment. You say people won't ban the meta heroes. That might, like, the data here isn't going to be like, won't give the most accurate result, because people who are participating in Spilo Pugs, Spilo's a content creator and like a coach, right? People who are participating in this are no longer casual players. They're like people who are invested enough in Overwatch to join hero ban pugs as an experiment. They're probably pretty hefty Overwatch players, so which doesn't represent the entire community. There's probably a bunch of casual players who will just ban randomly. I also do agree they probably will ban heroes they don't like a person who just plays casually once a week every Friday will just ban Bastion because they got rolled by Bastion last game. But I'm in the middle of hero bans. You are right where they tried it in the past. I wouldn't say nobody liked it. The people who played the hero that got banned didn't like it. People who only play 1 or 2 heroes and they get banned for the week, they can't play for the week, so that sucks for them. So for someone like me, I actually liked hero bans because I'm not a one trick. I have a hero pond. I could play a bunch of support heroes. So if they ban one, I'm fine to play the other one. And I'm just a guy that's played this game for very long, where like I like random things that shake up the game because like I need some change in my life. This is my job. I need spice, and hero bans spice the meta up in the games, and I wouldn't see a hero for a week. Ooh, what comp should we develop for that? I'm down for that, but again, I know not everyone will share that same sentiment. A hot take: Zarya should be able to bubble anything that has a health bar. Imagine a rip tire getting bubbled. Oh hell no, that's a hot take. No. Hot take: player perception of heroes is the single most important variable when balancing the game. Data should help inform the correct decisions, but rarely be a justification in itself. An auxiliary hot take to exemplify: Drunker Queen is OP, but no one complains about Queen being OP because she's fun to play with, play against, and has downtime where she is clearly vulnerable. Compare that to a kind of bad tank like Orisa that gets complained about nonstop despite having a below 40% win rate. Or how I hate random Hanzo one-shot regardless of what tier on a list he's at. Honestly, I kind of agree. Not in the way that you'd think though. I wouldn't say the single most important variable, but the player perception is very important in hero balance in keeping people happy. And you should not strictly balance based on data, because the reason why they buffed Sojourn and Orisa this patch is because the data showed their win rate was abysmal. Orisa had a 39% win rate or something, and Sojourn had a terrible win rate in certain ranks. The perception of Orisa is she's unkillable and OP, and the perception of Sojourn is she's OP. I kind of agree Sojourn's really strong. I always thought Orisa was kind of strong based on how strong the supports are, and the supports got nerfed since the last time she was OP a little bit, so like she doesn't feel as bad. Do they mean it should be the most important variable, or it is the most important variable, but it shouldn't be? Well, they're clearly not balancing based on hero perception at this current time. They're basing it off stats and stuff. Being a game balancer, you need to account for both. It should be one of the variables you consider. You can't outright ignore player perception, and you can't take player perception from players who are inherently biased. If you listen to Doomfist mains, they're going to keep telling you to buff him. People are inherently going to ask for buffs, then ask for nerfs of the heroes they play. They'll ask to buff the stuff they play. So you also can't fully trust what people are saying as well in the community. So that's also like another factor you have to kind of consider. This is a game that should be, encouraging hero swapping. That's why you can swap every time you die. If you one trick, I feel like you inherently, you have the right to complain or whatever, but like, I'm not gonna lie, I take a lot of your opinions and I just don't really listen. It goes in and out one ear. Heroes that are flexible on every map are gonna be complained about the most, and I understand that. But the heroes that are more niche, they're not gonna work in every situation. I don't even think it's possible to design a whole roster of heroes that are viable on every map everywhere, or else you're gonna get homogenous hero designs because there's gonna be too much overlap. If every hero was good everywhere, there'd be too many abilities that just feel and look the same at a certain point. TLDR, player perception is also important. Agreed. Final one. Devs should incorporate a community market and currency exchange. Veteran players have plenty of skins they don't care about, and skins were missed out by new players. They would sell it for a static price so the community can't abuse it easily. Additionally, adding a currency exchange would allow the longtime players and grinders to get their money's worth. 1,000 credits for 100 coins would be quite the grind, but better than what we currently have. I'm a longtime veteran with a lot of skins I don't care about. I'm I would certainly not complain if I'd be able to sell my skins, but at the same time, I don't know if this is the direction they'd want to go because you run into a whole new set of problems, plural, times 10. Counter-Strike markets are so, I wouldn't say corrupt, but full of maybe not tasteful things that come out of a marketplace like this. A lot of things can stem if you do run an open marketplace that I would say you should probably not dig yourself in a bigger hole than you already are. A company like Blizzard without the greatest rep, I'd say stay away from that. But it would certainly benefit you because you sound like someone with a vet with a lot of skins. Me too, but I don't think it's good for the overall overarching community. And if I said I wanted that, that would just be for me to offload my shit, just to dump my stuff for money and get the fuck out. A pump and dump, if you will. That's the last hot take. Leave some in the comments. Please keep it to like under 70 words. Thank you and goodbye.